Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, I want to go over some normal arena defenses that I have been putting together over the past couple days. I wanted to do like one big video where I show you guys a bunch of different teams and whatnot that you can run on defense. Now, you can run these on offense too, but these also have been successful for me in defense, and I figured if I put them all together, maybe you guys can find multiple teams that you can run, and you can switch them in and out throughout the week, keeping your opponents guessing and all that kind of good stuff, because it's always good to keep your opponents on their toes. You don't always want to run the same team over and over again, because eventually they'll crack it and then they'll farm you for points. So we're gonna hop in here to the formations. Now, most of these teams are as free-to-play friendly, mid-spender friendly as I could get them. I didn't really put together a lot of Hypogean Celestial teams because well, that's kind of like a different video. I think I'll probably do a video where I talk about like really strong Hypogean Celestial defenses and things like that, but for the most part, some of these teams have maybe one Celestial hero or whatever, and that's about it, and there's only a few of those, and we have like 10 plus teams to get through, so we're gonna not talk about too much detail of the teams. I just want to show you guys these teams and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, the first team that we have here is a Dunliner team, and I just started using this because I wanted to test it out. It's not proven on defense yet, but I think it could be pretty decent. So we have Dunliner obviously to shut down ultimates. Now that does mean they could use Lily May against us, and that would cost us the first Siren ultimate, but his first ultimate is almost free because he starts with 600 energy. Rowan's going to feed him the last 400 that he needs, and that will get him a really quick ultimate, and if Lily blocks it, he'll still be able to hopefully build up another energy bar before she can, and get an ultimate out there. Then we have Perseus in here with Ravion, so Ravion's providing some fatal blow protection for Perseus and Siren. He's also giving a growth stack to Perseus, and so is the enlightening spell artifact, and that's going to unlock the true damage for Perseus, also give him 30% damage reduction and 30% more damage dealt. So he should be in a good spot to do some decent damage, especially if our Siren can get his ultimate off, group everyone up, and then Perseus can do his skills in that whole group of heroes, and that'll cause a lot of damage. And then we have Ravion back here for like I said, utility and support with his fatal blow protection and all that, but he's also a decent single target damage dealer, so he can pick off straggler heroes that are on the outside, something like that, and all that good stuff. So that's the team I'm currently using. Let me go ahead and pull up another team. Now, most of these teams I'm going to have set up on map, it's the special arena map, so they're not all they don't all have to be run on this map. You could run them on any map, really. You just have to kind of position them, and if there's certain positioning things that you have to look out for, I'll make sure I mention those. But anyway, let's pull up the next team, and then I'll be right back. All right, so before we go any further, I just want to remind you guys, if you're looking for the cheapest dragon crystals out there, check out LD Shop. I have a link in the description below. If you register using my link, you'll get a 15% discount coupon and a 5% discount coupon, and you can get up to $50 off on your order using those. So yeah, check it out if you want some cheaper dragon crystals. Let's go ahead and start talking about more teams. All right, so anyway, the team I'm looking at right here is a Thedor, Siren, Ravion, Hugin, Perseus team, and the goal of this team is similar to the Dunliner team. However, we're providing 3 growth stacks for the Perseus this time, so he's going to be even stronger and also even tankier. We got shields from Hugin, which also provides CC immunity and all that good stuff, and then Siren's going to get almost an instant ultimate because Thedor is feeding him 350 energy. He already starts with 600, like I mentioned, so that's 950 energy, and then we have fatal blow protections from the Ravion, and also attack boosts for the objectives that he assigns. So yeah, this could be a really strong team. Now, these Perseus defenses, I should mention, they haven't really been super tested on defense yet. I wanted to kind of go over these defenses first because I had a couple of them that were using like a light bearer theme with Perseus and Siren and stuff, because Siren and Perseus actually kind kind of synergize together with Siren grouping everyone up, and then Perseus getting his ultimate off and kind of just marching the group of heroes backwards, doing tons and tons of damage. So if you can pull that off, it's really good. But anyway, that's the next team. Let me pull up another one. Alright, so here we have the classic Bonnie Nehru Siren team, and this one has Shamira and Callan on it, and this has been proving to be quite good actually on defense and even on offense. Now if you don't have Callan, you can use Thorin and connect Thorin to Shamira, and that can be really strong too, but you're getting some extra defensive bonuses for Shamira from Nehru when Nehru heals her, and the Bonnie and Nehru Siren combination, you guys know how strong that can be. And then Thorin's a good addition, or Callan. You could really use any tank in this situation. I just think Callan's probably the best because, well, he's going to protect everybody, and they all pretty much stand still for the most part in this situation. Shamira will walk forward a little bit, but it's not like she's not going to go out of range of Callan's protection. And then when he roars, it really hurts the flow of the enemy team's synergies and everything. So he's just, I really like Callan a lot, if you guys didn't know that already. But I used to talk about him a ton, but ever since Théodore was introduced, he's kind of been my new favorite. But anyway, that's this team. Let me pull up another one. Alright, so here we have a Wilder Lightbearer team with Rowan and Siren. So you guys know the combination of Rowan and Siren gives Siren almost an instant ultimate. Then we have Théodore feeding energy to our Faramore, who is going to get up to, because he starts with 300 energy, so he'll have 650 energy at the start of the fight, and that will get him to a pretty quick ultimate. Siren will have everybody grouped up. Hopefully Faramore can get his ultimate off before they start running away and spreading out. And then we have Lily May, who's getting a growth stack from the Faramore. Also, she's getting a growth stack from the Enlightening spell, so she's going to be doing some decent damage right at the start of the fight with her Rainstorm Ballet and all that kind of good stuff. And this has been a decent team for me in the past on defense. So if you guys wanted to run something like this, you could do that. I keep the Rowan separate from the Faramore because he can't, if Rowan isn't within 2 tiles of the Faramore, he might feed his energy pot to the Faramore instead of the Siren, because it all depends on how you position them. So you just want to make sure that the Rowan is next to the Siren, but not within 2 tiles of Faramore, unless you wanted to give Faramore an instant ultimate, because if you wanted to, you could position, Rowan over here, position Siren like this, let Siren get to his ultimate the natural way, and then Théodore feeds the energy to Faramore, which would trigger the energy pot from Rowan, and that would get him to an instant ultimate, which he'd just have to run forward on the map and get to the enemy heroes, and then he could cast it. So that's a team that I've done or a thing I've done in the past, and it's pretty strong too. But this team, I wanted to keep it so that Rowan would feed energy to Siren, so that's why it's positioned this way. So let's go ahead and pull up the next team. Alright, so here we have a team that I really like. I especially like this in Supreme Arena, but it also works in Normal Arena too, and that is Aaron, Olmus, Théodore, Shakir, Citrana. So this team works, like I said, in Normal Arena and in Regular Arena, and it's just a strong team. Citrana granting sparks to everybody. They get the heroes ignited. Shakir starts or does his ultimate right away. Aaron gets his tornado off. Now if they use Lily May, the Lily May will block the Aaron, but the Shakir will still get to his ultimate, and that's going to provide a bunch of protection for Citrana, Théodore, Aaron, and Olmus, because everybody's a melee hero. So it gives an attack boost plus damage reduction. It's just a solid team, and it's worked in many situations for me before. It's even beaten like Cryonaya teams and things like that. So it's a pretty solid team. But anyway, that's it's going to be a short explanation for this one. You guys, I've talked about this team quite a bit and how it works. So anyway, let's pull up the next one. Alright, so here we have the classic Bonnie, Niru, Siren, Igor, Athalia combination, and this is an extremely strong defense. A lot of people don't know how to deal with this one, and I'm running Enlightening Spell so that Bonnie has CC protection at the start of the fight, so the enemy team can't just use a Sylvina to shut her down, because that can be a huge counter to a team like this. Now you can obviously take Igor out, and you could put Seda in here if you wanted to. You could take Seda out and put Tassie in. She's another option. So any of these stall heroes can be paired with Athalia plus Bonnie, Niru, and Siren, and it can be a really strong team. You can also just do Citrana in here, take out Niru and put back in Igor or Seda or whoever. You go double the dot damage. There's a lot of different combinations of this team that you can run, but the classic version is something like this. So yeah, it's a pretty good team. I either like to provide the extra life on Bonnie or Siren. It's really your choice. Sometimes I like to give it to Siren because if you're fighting an enemy Athalia, the Siren's usually the first one that the enemy Athalia will target, so sometimes I'll do that, and I'll switch the Siren to get the Niru's extra life, something like this, you know. So anyway, that's the Igor, Athalia, Bonnie, Niru, Siren team. Let's go ahead and check out another one. Right, so here is one that I like to call the tank team, and that's because we're using 3 tanks. We have Thorin, Callan, and Damon, with Shamira behind Niru. So Damon is boosting up the Shamira with an attack buff and all that other good stuff he offers. Niru is giving the Shamira an extra life, and we're basically just trying to be as tanky as possible until Shamira gets her ultimate off. And you'd be surprised at how often when fighting this team you end up killing the Shamira. Like after you're like, maybe Shamira gets her ultimate off, she kills 1 or 2 of your heroes, and you still have 3 damage dealers left, right? But you haven't killed the Damon or the Callan or the Thorin yet, and you'd be surprised at how hard it can be to actually kill Damon in this situation. It can be an extremely hard thing to do, and the Damon can do a ton of damage himself. So it's a pretty cool team, and it actually is pretty successful. So yeah, that's going to be the tank team is what I like to say. So anyway, let's check out another team here. So for this team, we have Leica, Niru, Thaydor, Aaron, and Olmus. And the idea of this team is Niru can be Lily May bait, and if they don't use Lily May, then Leica's just going to have an extra life, so that's really good. And then the whole idea is to have Aaron group everyone up, Olmus root them down, Thaydor feed the energy to Leica, and since she has her Enhanced Force skill, she now starts with 300 energy, so she's going to get to a pretty quick ultimate in this fight, and her ultimate's actually pretty strong. The reason no one really knew that is because she was really hard to use and actually do damage with. Normally she's just used as a buff unit for like Dio teams or the Lily May Perseus one-shot team, but if you can get her ultimate off, it does quite a bit of damage, and it's pretty cool. Now you can run another version of this team without Leica. If you don't have her built, you could run Faramore, and the same thing, you know, if they're running Lily May, she blocks the Niru. If not, then the Faramore gets an extra life, and Aaron groups them up, Olmus roots them down, Thaydor feeds the energy to Faramore, and he blows them up with his ultimate. It's basically just the melee version of that Leica team. So yeah, that's the next team, or I guess you could count that as 2 teams if you wanted to technically. But anyway, let me get another team set up here. Alright, so for this team we have Damon positioned so that he's buffing up the Shamira, then we have Thaydor feeding energy to Shamira, and then we have Niru and Ravion. And we have Ravion in here to provide extra lives or fatal blow protection for our Shamira and our Damon, and also, you know, getting the objectives and getting the buffs from those. And then Thaydor, you know, gets Dark Moon put on the battlefield when Shamira does her ultimate, feeds her that energy, and this can be a strong team. Niru is going to act as our Lily May bait, so we can kind of guarantee that our Shamira gets her ultimate off. And if you don't have Ravion, or you don't want to use him, you could also use Callan if you wanted more protection. You could use Callan or Thorn. Where's my Callan at? There he is. So yeah, you could, it's so hard to see him, but whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, hold on. There we go. Okay, so you could position Callan like this. He's going to protect everybody in this situation. Shamira should get to her ult pretty quickly in this fight, and the Niru is still going to provide an extra life for our Shamira as long as they're not using a Lily May. So it's either you get an extra life, or he blocks or he's the Lily May bait, and either way, your Shamira should pretty much guarantee to get to an ultimate, unless the opponent's using Dunliner. Now, obviously, these defenses that rely on ultimates and things like that, Dunliner will be able to shut them down relatively easily. However, some of the really tanky teams, like the tank team that I talked about, that one can sometimes outlast Dunliner teams and still get the win and all that kind of good stuff. So it all depends on how fast you can either kill the Dunliner or how tanky your team is. Because the faster you can kill Dunliner and get rid of that Bell, the quicker you'll do those ultimates. But anyway, we're getting close to the end here, but we got some more teams to check out. So let me pull up the next one. Alright, so here we have a Pandora Shamira team, and we have the Niru. I mean, it's basically the same kind of principle as the last team. We're trying to get the Shamira to do an ultimate really quickly. Niru is baiting out any enemy Lily May ultimate blocks. Now they could use the Pandora Lily May combination to guarantee they block the Shamira's ultimate, so you have to watch out for that. But you got Callan in here and Ludovic in here also for a bunch of protection and survivability and all that good stuff. So this can be a pretty effective team, but like I said, they could use the Pandora Lily May and possibly block your Shamira ult, so you got to keep that in mind. If people in your server know about that, then you might want to try and figure out a different way to run this team, like the previous way that I just showed you guys. So yeah, anyway, let's check out the last team. I think there's one left and that's it, so give me one sec. Alright, so for our last team, we have a Wilder Pandora team. So we've got Tassie Pandora, Tassie going into the box. Fedor is feeding energy to our Leica, so she'll get a quick ultimate, and it might be just the fact, it might actually just line up with the Tassie coming out of the box, and they both get their ultimates around the same time. So if the enemy is using Lily May and Pandora, you might actually be able to bait the Lily May with the Leica. It all depends on the timing and everything. There's going to be a lot of RNG behind that actually happening. But you also have Aaron in here, so if they do use Lily May, she's just going to block the Aaron's ultimate, and yeah, that's that. And if they don't use Lily May, then Aaron's going to group everyone up. Leica's going to shoot her bow off and hopefully get a lot of damage out there. Tassie's going to come out of Pandora's box and start doing her ultimate, and it's going to be probably game over for the enemy. So yeah, that's the last team in this video that I wanted to put together for you guys. It was kind of a long video, but I wanted to show you all these defenses because, like I said, I have used them in the past and they've all been pretty successful for me. And really the only thing that kind of shuts down some of these teams are Dunliner teams and things like that, and just really people knowing what to do. So yeah, you can probably have some good success with these teams, and I hopefully kept them as free-to-play friendly, mid-spender friendly as I possibly could. And yeah, remember, LD shop link in the description below, and Discord link is down there too. So if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. I really like brownness, yeah. It's yummy. I play games with y'all.